Morning. Today we are correcting CO63 with the box and whisker plots. So we're going to do a quick review. Remember, our box and whisker plots have 4 equal sections. They don't look equal, but it's the same number of data points are going to be in each section. We've got our median that splits up the middle. The upper quartile splits up the upper half. The lower quartile splits up the lower half. And that shows us our 4 equal sections. So if we want to know how many are in that section, you take your total number and divide it by 4. That's how many are in each section. Then you have to go and look, is my question being asked, does it cover 1 section? Does it cover 2 sections? We know that the farthest to the left is our lowest, our minimum. The one to the right is our highest, our maximum. Okay. Big thing to remember, box and whisker plots are divided into 4 equal sections. We did a lot of this yesterday. We did together. Let's look to see how our answers were. So we talked in class yesterday, not on the video, but if it's weekly for a year, that means it's 52 weeks. So that was our total number of data points were 52. Liam and Cameron, I'm actually talking, so I would appreciate you to be quiet and listening. So it was out of 52 weeks. Our minimum score was 3. The maximum score is 21. The lower quartile was at 6. That upper quartile is at 16. And the median right in the middle is the 12. The interquartile range is that 16. Subtract out the 6. That gives us the interquartile range. And our range altogether goes from 3 to 21. So 21 minus 3 is 18. How many weeks did the shop have between 12 and 21? So how many sections is that from 12 to 21? It's going to be 2 sections, right? We've got this section of the box, and then we've got the whisker section. So when we do our math, if we have 52 divided by 4, we get 13. So it's 13 per section. We have 2 sections, so there are 26. Then it says, at what percentage of weeks did the shop have between 6 and 12? Now we have to use some of our prior knowledge about percentages. So we know that between 6 and 12, there's 13. We know it's out of 52 total. So 13 divided by 52 gives us 0.25, which is 25%. So your answer had to be as a percentage. Remember, to find the percentage, you put how many you have divided by the total number. How many of us remembered how to do percentages? Few of us did. A lot of us forgot. We need to be able to interpret the data on the test next week. So the test is next week. These are some things that we need to be able to do. So you need to remember that if you're finding a percentage of something, you take the part that you know, divide it by the total, and turn that decimal into a percentage. On the bottom, we created our box and whisker plot together, because it's the first time we had to draw it ourselves. Keeping in mind we have our 4 parts. They all have the equal number of numbers in them. We talked about how they each had 3 different data points in them because we divided them up into 4 equal sections. To find our mean, we had to have them add up all of our on the bottom, we had to add them all up, divide it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1,088 divided by 8 gave me 136. My median number, when they were all lined up, I had an even number, so I had 132 and 140. I had to add those two together and divide by 2, and I got 136. For the mode, there is none. You cannot put a 0, because 0 is a digit. You have to write none or no mode. Okay? You can't just leave it blank, because then it looks like you don't know. So you have to write something, and it can't be a number, so you can't put 0. Now, what does a bar graph show? I had a few people come up and ask me, because they weren't sure what they were supposed to put. Remember, when we do every page in our binder, it always says underneath the definition, it tells you what it's good for. Box and whisker plots are for showing range and median. The stem and leaf plot show things in order. The line graph shows the value of something. And the bar graph shows how many of something. That's going to be stuff you want to put on your help sheet. So not only do we need to know what a bar graph is, we need to know what it shows. Okay? Same thing with the line graph and the stem and leaf and the box and whisker. You need to know why we use them. If we're looking for the range and the median, we're going to use the box and whisker. So on the bottom, the bar graph shows how many of something. The line graph shows the value of something. And the stem and leaf plot show data in order. That's all we had to write for those. So on your help sheet, you're going to want to put what we use each graph for, what they show us. Any questions on what we corrected today? How are we feeling about the box and whisker plot? I know it's new, that's why I'm double checking. Show me your thumbs. How are we feeling on it? Some of us are a little shaky, especially with that percentage one thrown in there. Woo, it's using prior knowledge on how to answer our questions. We are having our test next week. The test will be on Wednesday of next week. So let's see, I have a staff meeting on Tuesday, so I can't do a review group Tuesday. Monday, I have student council, so I could do a review group at 2:30 if people wanted to get work done with Mrs. Gregory. Is there anybody who thinks they want to do a review group on Monday at 2:30? It's up to you. I'm willing to offer it. So on Monday at 2:30, after I'm done with student council, I can grab you from Mrs. Gregory's room as long as she's staying after on Monday. So remind me to check with her. You can get work done in Mrs. Gregory's room until student council's done, and then we can do a review session. All right, if you are watching this at home, I hope you are well, and I hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day.